In this video, we're talking about the 7 different types of conduct that are criminalized under Arizona law when they involve narcotic drugs. In a separate video, I explained what Arizona considers to be narcotic drugs. And so if there is somebody doing something that involves any one of those drugs, it will be criminalized under Arizona law. The title in the statute is 133408. Under that statute, there are these 7 different items here. We'll run through them, and we'll also explain what level felony they are. So as a reminder, in Arizona we have different levels of felonies. They range from severe to less severe. All felonies are severe. The most severe, the highest level felony that we have is a class 2. The lowest level felony that we have is a class 6. You will see here from this whiteboard that there is nothing lower than a class 4. So all narcotic drug violations are very serious, and let's run through what they are. So under subsection 1, the most common by far narcotic drug violation that we see is this level. It's where somebody has a narcotic drug, their possession is for use. So they possess it or they're using the drug, they are not going to be selling it. If a person has a narcotic drug for possession for use, it's a class 4 felony. So it's kind of in the middle there. It's still very serious. It's not anything lower than a 5 or a 6. It's a class 4, so it's right between a 2 and a 6. Now, if that person takes that drug and they possess it for sale, meaning they're going to be selling it to somebody else or exchanging it for something else of value, it goes from a class 4 to a class 2 under subsection 2, possession for sale. So now there's indicia, there's evidence that that person is going to be in the process of selling that drug. It really escalates the severity of it. They really want to curb the sale of narcotic drugs. If somebody possesses equipment or chemicals that would be used in the manufacture of narcotic drugs, that is a class 3 felony. So if somebody has the equipment at home, they're making their own drugs or they're making it for sale, that's a class 3 felony, meaning they have the equipment and the chemicals, but they haven't actually manufactured it yet. If they do manufacture it, that's under subsection 4. That makes it a class 2 felony. So if somebody is actually in the process of manufacturing drugs, they're making heroin and they're going to be caught in the act and there's very clear evidence that it's been used in manufacturing, that's going to be a class 2 felony, the highest level that we have. If an individual is caught administering a narcotic drug to somebody else, that's also a class 2 felony. So in the heroin example, if somebody is injecting somebody else with heroin and they're actually administering that drug to that individual, that is a class 2 felony. If somebody is receiving a drug, so if somebody's obtaining a drug or they're being administered a drug by fraud, deceit, or misrepresentation, that's a class 3 felony. So if somebody is exchanging drugs with somebody, they are the recipient of the drugs, they're receiving drugs, or they have been injected by the drugs, and they've done something to secure that through fraud or through misrepresenting or doing something that is not an even exchange, that's a class 3 felony. And then finally we have subsection 7. This involves the transportation, the importation, basically moving around drugs, anything that's going to be involved in transporting for sale, offering to transport for sale, any of that type of conduct. If it involves narcotic drugs, it's going to be prohibited under subsection 7. Also a class 2 felony. They really want to focus on prohibiting the sale of these things. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the biggest, most common offense that we see is just this simple. It's possession for use. It's possession for personal use. It's just somebody who has the drug for their own personal use. They're not offering it for sale. They're not manufacturing it. They're not doing anything else with it other than having it for their own use. And it's a class 4 felony. Now you can see here there's a big range of felonies. So when it comes to penalties for these types of offenses, there's a lot of different variability. Sometimes there's some leniency for first-time offenders. Other times, for somebody who has had multiple violations, they may be facing very long years in prison. There's a lot that goes into it. The statutes are a little bit complicated. We'll detail that in another video. But if you've been charged with one of these offenses and you want to speak to an attorney about it, our office offers free case evaluations. We'll sit down with you. We'll look at the facts of your case, figure out what the best way is to move forward so that we can help you through this with a minimal amount of damage, the minimal amount of impact on your life. Thanks for watching. I look forward to speaking with you soon.